Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody to this session of painting your switch plates. We are very grateful to the Ontario Trillium Foundation for funding this exercise today. So thank you very much and welcome everybody, and we are about to begin. What we're going to do is we're going to take a common switch plate that you would normally see in any home, and we're going to take a little bit of alcohol ink and we're going to create a wonderful masterpiece today. This is very simple. What you're going to need is 99% isopropyl alcohol, 70% alcohol, your alcohol ink paints, several brushes, lots of switch plates because you're really going to want to do a lot of these. You're going to need paper towel, a little bit of wax paper, and I think that just about covers it. Rubber gloves if you don't want to get any ink on your hands. However, the alcohol will remove the ink and you'll be just fine. And if you have a little bit of staining, it'll be gone in a few days. So to begin, we're going to take a little bit of, I'm going to do a spring scene to honor the coming spring and the freshness of new beginnings. And we're just going to take a little bit of green and just drop it on there. We're going to take a little bit of alcohol on the brush. And we're going to start moving this around. And you're going to see that you're going to want to paint the edges all the way around. You don't want to leave any white spots because once you get this up on the wall, you're going to be very frustrated with yourself if you've forgotten anything. And you can just dab your brush and eventually the alcohol will begin to evaporate and you'll find the paint gets a little bit thick. So you can go back in and just dab. You're going to paint right over top of the screws. The screws are taped at the back so that they don't fall off. And that's going to be very handy for you later on. So there we've got a little bit of grass. And I'm painting upside down so that everybody can see this. And you can see how it gets a little bit lighter as we get to the top. A little darker at the bottom. And then you're going to always clean your brush off before you go to your next color. Wipe that clean like this. Now we're going to go in and we're going to do a little bit of pink flowers. And try to remember to put the cap back on so that you don't evaporate the alcohol out of your alcohol ink. So I'm going to put a little drop here and there. We're going to blend that in. And you'll see it kind of like, it doesn't really look like much right now. So you've kind of got all of these, a little bit of a mixture of colors, and it doesn't really look so much like flowers.
So you can mix up colors?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. And now I'm going to take a little bit of blue. And if you don't want to apply it directly onto the switch plate, you can actually put a drop onto the wax paper and then pick it up with your brush. And it gives you just a little bit more control. So we're going to put some blue in here. And you really can't make a mistake. Anything that you're not happy with, you can just remove with a bit of alcohol. And as you get used to the technique, you're going to find that you can create more and more precision. And the sky's the limit. You can use any colors, any combination. You can spread it around however you want to. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow. At least I think I am. Okay, we'll pop a little bit of yellow. And you'll find some colors are a little bit more vibrant than others. The yellow stands out really brilliantly. Okay, so we've got a little bit of color in there now. Now we're going to give the sky, go. And you can buy these alcohol ink colors at any art store. And we should have some blue. Is there a little bit of a different blue? Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, and you want to remember, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to want to work in an area where you've got lots of circulation. You don't want to get stifled by the alcohol, although this is not so bad. So now we're just spreading a bit of blue around. We're making the sky. This is a wonderful thing that you can do with kids, with seniors. Remember to get inside those edges of your switch plate. You don't want to forget those. Paint your screws. There's nothing worse than getting your whole thing painted and then you go in later on and you find out you didn't do any of the screws and now you've got these bright white screws. What's really funny is the last time I did a big class at the Home Depot in my town, the salesperson, when I went in with my husband to get something, she says, we bought switch plates because I was doing another class. And she said, what's going on with the switch plates? She said, everybody's coming in the store today and buying switch plates. She said, is everybody renovating at the same time? I said, that might have been me. Okay, so there we kind of have a bit of a rough rendition of the sky. And again, I'm doing this very quickly for the video so that everybody can sort of get going on their own. You can stroke. Okay, and that will give you a different way to look at it. And whatever, like I said, whatever you decide to do, you can't make a mistake with this because everything can be reapplied. You can wipe it all off with the alcohol and start again if you want to. So now, got a little bit of a sky. Now I'm going to go in with my green. Well, no, let's take brown. And I'm going to make now a tree branch stretching up into the sky. So there's our brown. And I'm going to use the flat of the brush. And you're going to taper your brush up, lift your brush just a little bit so that you've got a nice small end. I'll pick up a little bit more. And again, I'm doing this upside down so you can see, but I'm going to take a branch. You don't really need a whole lot of alcohol. It goes a really long way. Okay. And if you use the flat of your brush, you can really extend that tree out. Wipe off some of the paint, give it a bit of a cleaning. Throw a little bit more on there. And if you just want to do polka dots, you can just take your paint and just drop it on here and make a beautiful polka dot color. Put your little branches. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. Okay, so very simple, very easy to do. Doesn't take a whole lot of time, and suddenly you have spring. Okay, so and then if you can do a whole bunch of these and keep them in a drawer, and then if you want to periodically change the look, you change the look.
Not to do that.
No, you'll be surprised at how easy. So if you want to do a little bit of extra color, if you want to, let's say you want some variety, just take some clean alcohol on your brush and just dab it. You can take your colors, bring them right down into the grass if you want to. You can dab just pure alcohol on there. Okay, and you can change the entire dynamic just by throwing a little bit of alcohol. You want to do some clouds? We'll just take a clean brush.
Jeez. Okay, I'll buy that one.
It is so easy. Now, honestly,
It looks instead, I'll buy that one.
sold for $35,000. And that's it. That's just how easy it is. Anybody can do this. It's just so much fun. And it's like chips. You can't just do one. You'll want to do lots and lots and lots of them. So everybody choose your colors. I would suggest starting with a small brush to begin with. And then when you feel comfortable, you can move to a larger brush for different effects. And just pick whatever you don't even have to have a theme. You can just do anything abstract, just to get your hands in and just to start moving the brush around and see how it feels. And then from there, it'll just suddenly open up a whole other world. So we'll pass these. There's another really fun little thing that you can do is once you get your feet wet and you've sort of got a handle on it, a little bit of alcohol in a spray bottle. Don't spray around anybody else's because you will affect someone else's. But just go to the side and give it a spritz. And you have a snowstorm. So it changes, it creates just little speckles. Okay, and when you spray once, it'll spreckle. And the more you add on to it, the bigger the spots will get. So you can make it as much as you want.
Wow.
Okay, so now you have spring storm.
Spring showers.
And if you want to change it, you can just go back with your brush, brush it all out again. Okay. So it's really hard to do something that doesn't look beautiful.
Okay, you say so.
If you want to do grass, you can take one of those big flat brushes and just go, and it gives you grass. If you want to do sand, you can do some brown and then use the spray and spray it, then let it dry for a couple of seconds, and then do the rest of your stuff. If you want to do waves, you can take your brush and alcohol and dab it and pick up some of the blue, and then dab it with your paper towel and pick the ink up. You'll be you know what? Don't criticize yourself until you're halfway through.
Okay.
Because in the beginning, everybody thinks, no way, this is not going to be what I want. But then when you're done, I have yet to have anybody walk away from the table and say, I don't like what I did.
Yeah, when I did the switch plate and came out like planets.
Yeah.
I loved it in the end. Yeah. I really did.
So you didn't plan it to be planets?
No,
it happened?
It happened, and I loved it. At first, I was very disappointed in what I was doing, and then when it came out, I'm like, never mind.
Wow.
I was working with a family a few weeks ago, and they are on an extremely limited budget, and they're living in a house that's, maybe needs a little bit of TLC. And so she said, I would love to just do something that brightens my house up. And so we went out and we bought for, I don't know, what was the box of switch plates, I think was like $5 or $6. And so we spent the day painting switch plates that the kids went and put up all over the house. Nice. And so they had a really great time. Wow. I was told by somebody that in the 60s and 70s, it was very, very common for artists to move into some rundown, old, decrepit places, and one of the first things they did is they had a switch plate painting party.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kind of the way they made the place their own. And the ink lasts a very, very long time. It takes very little ink to do these creations.
And what do you spray on it after, like as a clear coat or?
Yeah, there's I use a Pabio watercolor gouache varnish. You can also use a Kamar varnish, Kamar, and that's available in any fine art store. I think that's. Remember, if you just want a tiny little dot of something, put your paint on your wax paper.
That's what I learned here.
Yeah, because when you put a drop on, the drop begins to expand and take over.
I see what you mean.
I never saw that happen before. That's amazing.
What? It's like a little window
You
into
put
some little.
you have certain
like
colors,
sci-fi.
and then you put one drop of alcohol in it.
Oh,
I love that.
But then it blends, and you lose the effect. Then it does something
But
else.
it's so soft.
Yeah, it's
Let's
very,
stop
very.
it there because I don't want to mess with it. It's my little portal.
It's your little portal. Yep.
Remember in one of your books,
Yes.
they go through in time.
Through the portal, when they
Yeah.
went back in time.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's my little portal.
Hey, I read that one.
There.
Yeah.
That's Leanne going back in time. See, you painted the portal. She edits the
jeez.
books. Now she painted the portals.
That is so cool.
But I'll hire you to illustrate the next one.
I'm going to show you how to make grass. You want to do grass?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put a drop here.
We'll see.
Okay, so I've got my little scene. I'm going to put a little bit of green and go just all over. And lift your brush. If you lift your brush at the end, you'll get that nice spiky. And if you want to create depth perception, then you're going to put something in the foreground after you've done the background. So you're painting the background first, and then you put the tree right over top of everything else. And that gives you depth perception. Your alcohol will last, even though your alcohol gets really muddy with lots of colors in it, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you add it into what you've got on your switch plate, it just works out. It just doesn't, you don't have to worry too much. Again, unless you're using white. If you're using white, then you want to keep your brush really clean. Yeah. The 70% gives you less blooming, less spread. The 99% really spreads your ink across your surface. Fantabulous. Look at that colors on. I love that. Wow.
J'ai hâte de voir ça, la Cali.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, you guys are doing such a great job.
J'ai le à la fin.
See, normally,
Just
a
like
dot
this.
of just a small, wipe some of it off. There you go. Yeah.
Celle-là?
Yeah, then
Yeah.
watch it.
Then wait. Because if you dab once, it starts to spread.
Ah, I see. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Mais je devrais le faire à toutes, then. Should I get one?
Pour.
Ben, je sais pas que je veux. Je veux
Nice.
brown and blue,
Nice. This one might be really
please.
I'll give you the brown in a
Wow.
second.
It's a discovery.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
It is.
C'est le brun.
Wow. Celle-là aussi, peut-être, mais
I
petit.
like that layering too.
Beautiful, eh? Yeah.
I feel like they all need it now.
I know, it's easy to get going, eh?
Carrie's got a really nice one too.
J'ai assez hâte de voir celui à Kelly.
Oui.
Ah, Nicole, il a bien viré le tien, là.
Ouais.
Wow.
Ok, ben,
Tu sais, je te l'avais dit,
another
on
one.
le tien aussi, là.
C'est beau, chérie.
Bravo.
Bravo. Well
done.
So, thank you for coming in my home and doing this. We've done many projects with the grant from the Ontario Trillium Foundation. And we had fun since last year. We've been having workshops. We've had beading. We've had painting. All kinds of workshops. We're going to keep going that way. We have one more left, one more workshop to do. But this one's going to be a little bit special. This one is going to be painting again with the theme of Mother Earth. It'll be in April. And we will ask our artists and aspiring artists to come in and paint some plates. Then we're going to put them up for sale. And it's for the Métis Nation of Canada's Community Care Foundation. That's our fundraiser for the spring. Our Community Care Foundation, we help students who need help with paid part of their computer, books. We know how expensive books are. Or we also help people who are in need if they need grocery vouchers, if they need clothing for school, uniforms, whatever you need. Sometimes it's an hour of cleaning every month. We can pay that. And that's what the foundation is there. And it's completely done by the people, for the people at Métis Nation of Canada. So on behalf of all our citizens who are going to receive a letter this week, and I want to talk a little bit about that letter because the foundation, not the foundation, I'm sorry, but the Ontario Trillium Foundation paid for the Ontario portion of a massive mail-out that we did. And it was thousands and thousands of letters that went out. And part of those letters is a little story that was part of a project that I had done for Ontario French Television. And I'm asking the children and the youth to draw a picture from the story that I wrote. And the story is about Aurora Borealis and the Northern Lights and the sash, the Métis sash. And we'll have a contest again through the foundation. We'll have a prize for two age groups in there. So that's coming in this week for our citizens. You'll get that in the mail. And the painting, the community paintings for the fundraiser will be the last of the projects under this grant. We finish at the end of April. And I want to thank the Ontario Trillium Foundation for this beautiful grant that we received. And we also received one from the Ontario Art Council and one from the Race Relations Canada. And that's another exciting project that we'll talk to you more at some other time. And on that, thank you for being with us. Thank you for coming here, and beautiful pieces around the table. And it just goes to show that everybody's an artist. So thank you very much. Chimigwech, merci.
Miigwech, Karen. Miigwech, Colleen.
My pleasure. My pleasure.